Namaste, everybody. Today, we're going to work with a practice that really slows things down, at least in the realm of what may be considered a vinyasa practice. And in the process of slowing down, I find that there's so much space to explore your inner landscape, right? Just to take your senses, your thoughts, and point them in towards the beating of your own heart, the flow of your own breath, and what it feels like to be you right here, right now. So, this is an intermediate, maybe, level practice, but I will offer some options for you to take it down a notch or maybe lift it up a little bit. Know that, like I always say, taking one option or another doesn't make you a better practitioner, and it certainly doesn't make you a better human being. So take it at your own pace. The main point is self-inquiry, self-reflection, and just allowing yourself space for pause. Okay? So we'll begin in balasana, or the child's pose. Bring your big toes together and take your knees as wide as your outer waist, so that when you fold forward and extend your arms, there's this nice crevice or resting point for your upper body. And spread wide through your fingers. Reach from the sides of your hips out through your pinky fingers rather than from your shoulders. Reach from your tailbone to the crown of your head to get longer. And then allow a little swaying side to side until you can settle your forehead down into the floor. Allow your forehead to rock a bit side to side along the mat. Just ironing out any expectations or tension there in your brain. And as you're ready, begin to even and smooth your breath out in the back of your body. You may visualize or simply feel your breath moving down into your lower back, wide across your kidneys. Maybe up into the back of your rib cage or heart. And with each exhale, allow space to release the weight of your body. To release, at least for now, any expectations you may have for the practice. And certainly to release any judgments you may have about what your capabilities are. You can stay here for the next minute or so, or as you're ready, shift forward. Bring your hips between your knees and widen your knees out into the frog pose. So your feet will be flexed and directly behind your knees as your hips release towards the floor. As this is early in the practice, you want to make sure that you're allowing this relationship of gravity, but also stability to come into the equation. So gravity is going to want to draw you down, but keep that little lift through your pubic bone, a little lift through your inner groin, so that there is, again, this kind of ebb and flow of release and holding, release and drawing in. Deep, even breathing. The place that you begin to arrive should be sustainable, meaning that your breath can stay steady. It's interesting enough for you to hold your attention, but it's not putting you into the cycle of stress response, fight or flight. Three more breaths. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Pull yourself forward onto your belly. Let your legs slide back together. And then rest your forehead on top of your hands. Feel your thighs internally rotate. Ground the tip of your pubic bone down and forward. Feel your lower belly hollow a bit. Breathe into your lower back. Exhale as you slide your hands back by your ribs. Now this is going to lift from your leg pressure and from the length of your spine, not your shoulders. Inhale into your lower back and let your chest rise up. Pause as you exhale. Inhale, lift through the back of your neck. Exhale. Grounding your shins. Inhale, 1 more. Now exhale, draw your hip creases towards each other. Lift your hips up. Tuck your toes. Downward facing dog. Allow a little bit of movement here to settle into stillness. Relax your jaw and your temples. As you inhale, roll forward to plank pose. Pause as you exhale and press through your hands and toes. Press the floor away. Breathe in, and as you inhale, either step or flip over your toes to up dog, lowering your hips down just to hover between your wrists. Keep your chest light and soft, but inhale to rise up through the base of your skull. Just taking that little extra sweet time to settle the breath. Inhale, shoulder blades move into the heart. Now exhale, bend your knees, internally rotate your thighs as you lift up and back to down dog. 3 breaths in and out. 2 in. Breathe out. And 1 more inhale. Exhale, take your feet as wide as the mat at the back. Look towards your toes and super stealthily walk your hands back to your feet. As you arrive deep in the bend in your knees, hold opposite elbows and allow your spine to dangle forward. 2 breaths here. Feeling that depressurization in your middle back. 1 more in. Breathe out. Now inhale to lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to your waist, please, as you rise up to stand. Stepping your feet side by side. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Cross your right wrist in front of your left, palms together. Pressing your hands into each other. Exhale, bend your knees, take your hips back and your chest forward like you're diving. Now inhale, lift your heels up, feel the inseams of your ankles rise, chest up high. And pause here, high-heeled Utkatasana or chair pose. Breathe in. The more you press your hands together, the taller you get through your chest. Exhale. And inhale, rise up, keep your heels high, inner thighs lifted. As you exhale, bend your knees, lower your heels, and twist open to the left arm back. Spread wide through your hands. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, sit down a little deeper. Inhale, circle that left arm down, forward, and under your right wrist. Palms touch. Sit back and down. Inhale, heels up, chest up. Exhale, settle into your chair. Breathe and rise. Breathe out, bend your knees, open to the right, lower your heels, the last moment. Get your palms to widen away from each other. And sit down into that heat. Now inhale, sweep that right arm down and forward, cross your wrist. Exhale, bring your belly to your thighs, fold over your legs, and release your hands. Inhale, half lift, please. Exhale, bow. Again, inhale, lengthen. And then walk back out to down dog. Step your feet side by side as you inhale. Keep pressure through your left hand as you take your right leg up and back. Inhale, reach through your heel. Then keeping your spine in down dog, bring your right knee towards your right shoulder. Inhale, shift forward. Shoulders come over the wrist. And then step outside your right hand with your right foot. Press back through your left heel, forward through your right arm. Exhale, open into your twist. Firm the left side of your belly back into your body. And stay here or turn all 10 toes to the right. Bend your right elbow, support the back of your head, lean into it. Just feel that lift through your inner left thigh. Grounding through your right big toe to press your right hip back. Then inhale, stretch your right arm overhead. Exhale, roll around to a wide lunge, lowering your hands. Now pick up from your belly, step to plank. Pause in the exhale, firm the line. And then inhale, flick your toes back, roll over your feet to up dog, chest wide. Pause on the exhale, widen your armpits. Breathe and let the breath rise and fill your chest. Exhale, down dog, rolling over your toes. Inhale, feet together. Exhale, left leg rises up and back. Press through your right hand, reach through your left heel. Keeping your spine long, bring your left knee towards your left shoulder. Now round your back, make space under your body, shift forward. Step lightly outside your left hand. Keep that right leg strong, left arm forward. Inhale. Exhale, open to twist. Option to turn all your toes to the left. Lift and radiate open through your chest. Feel your outer hips move towards each other. Left hand behind your head for support. Breathe into the sides of your neck. Breathe out, roll around to lunge, hands come down. Make space under your body. Silently step back to plank. Pause as you breathe out. Inhale, flick your toes back, hips up and forward, up dog. Pause, firm thighs. Shoulder blades move the heart forward. Exhale, downward facing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now keeping your feet side by side, look to your toes. Start to walk your hands towards your feet. You can bend your knees a bit. As you arrive, hands by your feet, fingertips and toe tips in line. Even out the weight front to the back of your feet, side to side as well. Now inhale, lengthen your spine. Do your shoulder blades scoop into the back of your heart. Cross your left arm or left wrist under your right as you bend your knees and sit down. Hip creases move back into your body, belly hollows. Now heels up, chest up, inhale. Sit down a little deeper, exhale. Inhale, rise, rise, rise. Exhale, open to the right in chair, bending your knees. Breathe in. Breathe out. Spiral your left ribs towards your right thigh. Hook your elbow. Make a fist with your left hand, right palm on top and twist. Lengthen tailbone to the crown of your head. One more, inhale. Exhale. And stay in your twist. Rise and open your arms. Right arm reaches under the left. Sit back. Heels up, chest up. Inhale. Seat low. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale, open into your chair, twisting to the left. Soften the tops of your shoulders. Reach from the underside of your arms. A big spiral, right ribs up and over to the left. Right hand into a fist, left palm on top to twist. Two. One. Open your arms as you rise. Left arm under the right, exhale. Heels up, chest up, inhale. Sit down, exhale. Stand up, inhale. Now reach your arms out wide. Heels stay high, belly in and up, fold forward slowly. Relax your neck. And slide your palms and interlace your fingers under the outer edges of your feet, your heels. Heels down. You can bend your knees or keep your legs straight. Try to line up, or rather stack your soles over the palms of your hands. Breathe in, chest forward. Breathe out, elbows wide. Lift the hamstrings up the backs of your legs. 3, 2, and 1. Look forward. Lift off of your heels. Release your hands. Walk back out, down dog. And settle into the shape. Inhale where you need it the most. Exhale, find some release. And inhale, shift to plank pose. Pause, firm your belly, exhale. Thighs, hamstrings engage as you roll over your toes to upward facing. Pause in your exhale. Lift on the inhale. Exhale, down dog, hollowing out your lower abdomen. Feet side by side as you breathe in. Breathe out, right leg up and back. Inhale, let that hip open a bit. Exhale, circle your right knee around and then into your chest, shift forward. Round your back, spot inside your right thumb. Flex your right ankle, step inside your right thumb. It may be helpful to have your hand firmly placed onto a block, but wrap that right armpit around your right knee. Spin your back heel down so the foot is parallel to the short side of your mat. Bring your left hand underneath your right hamstrings. And see if you can reach all the way around to the outer right hip. And as you inhale, press your feet away from each other. Pull gently the right hamstring or back of the right thigh up and towards your pubic bone. Take your left arm up, Utthita Kurmasana. Again, more pressure of your feet down and away from each other. Bring that left hip bone up into your belly. Left ribs down towards your spine. Crown of the head shines forward. Inhale. Exhale. And to make this more of a side strengthener, take your left arm, reach it back by your side, strong reach. Take your right arm, reach it forward by your right ear, reach wrist to wrist. 2 more, in, out, in, out. Bend your right knee, rise warrior 2. Take your right arm up. Inhale, reach wrist to wrist vertically. Exhale, Parighasana Virabhadrasana and lean back. Option to thread that left arm behind you, reaching around for your right hip crease. Lift up through your inner thighs, sit down into your hips. 2 more, in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, straighten your right leg. Exhale, back into triangle pose. Right fingertips come down. Just devolving. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, bend your right knee, spin off your left heel as your hands come to the floor. Inhale, right arm back and up. Stay here or turn all 10 toes to the right. Option to widen your right foot a step to make this more accessible in your hips. Breathe in, right hand behind your head. Now lift from the underside of your left hip, Slide your right leg back on top of your left, Vashisthasana. Hips up, up, up. Right arm option to reach overhead, creating an arc through your side body. Breathe in, press away from your left shoulder. Exhale, pull that left hip back and under, roll around to plank. Inhale, up dog. As you exhale, bend your elbows just enough to lower your pubic bone. Lower your chest just enough to float your hands. Stretch them back. Legs up from the hip crease. Inhale. Strong reach through your thighs. Shalabhasana, floating. Exhale, hands back by your waist. Shoulders back. Ground your shins to lift up to up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Your feet together, inhale. Left leg rises, exhale. Open up your hip, reach through your big toe. Now exhale, circle your knee all the way around and into your heart. Look inside your left thumb. Exhale, step inside your hand. Wrap that left armpit around your left knee. Option to place your hand up onto a block or stack of books. And then spin your back foot down, back heel down. Now bring your right hand underneath your left hamstring. And draw that up and towards your belly as you press your feet away from each other. Right hand to right hip, draw that into your belly as well. Right arm up. Feet glide away from each other, but the pubic bone draws in. Option to take the side strengthener, right arm by your side, left arm by your head. Reach. Feet and hands away from each other. Right ribs roll back into the spine. Now exhale, bend your left knee. Inhale, rise up, left arm high, right arm down. Lift up and lean back into a side bend. Option to thread your right arm behind your back for your left hip. Parighasana, Virabhadrasana. Internal lift through the thighs. Space in your jaw, space in your brain. And one more, breathe in. Breathe out. Unwinding, straighten your left leg. Lean forward. Keep a secret bend into your left knee as your fingertips come to the floor. Open up that right lung. Now bend that left knee. Spin off your back heel as your hands come to the mat. Left arm forward and up to twist. Option to turn your toes, getting into that outer hip. Widen your stance if you need to. Bring your left hand behind your head. Inhale. Now press away from that shoulder. Draw the shoulder blade into your back. Slide that left foot around until your legs stack. Start with the sides of your body, one over the other. Inhale. And then press away from the floor. Option to stretch your left arm towards the floor in front of your mat. Now when you come around, exhale, pull that right hip back, tone your lower belly, come to plank. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, bend your elbows until your pubic bone touches the next gaze long. Inhale, arms up, legs up, Shalabhasana. Exhale here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Exhale, slide your palms by your waist. Shoulders stay integrated. Lower your legs, lift your hips and heart. Exhale, down dog. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. One more in. Breathe out. Just to get a little explosive power here, lift your hips up. Spot the place outside of your pinkies. Hop your feet there. And then hop back. And then hop forward. And try to land lightly. Back. Forward. Keeping your breath. One more. Back. Forward. Pause in Malasana. Hands to your heart. Widen through your chest. Swing your hips back. And find Shalabhasana, that prone back bend shape in your chest. 3 more. 2. 1. Stretch your arms forward and up. Inhale. Press to your feet. Rise. Exhale. Parallel your toes. Release your arms. Relax your shoulders. Just notice how it feels to be you. Without judgment or writing a story about what you find, just notice. Bring your hands to your heart, chest up. You exhale, step out to the right, feet nice and wide. Okay? So when you take your arms out parallel to the floor, your wrists should be over your ankles. It's a nice place to start. Bring your hands to your waist, lift up. Now you're going to turn your right heel in and your right toe out like you did in Warrior Two. In fact, bend your knee like Warrior Two. Now lifting up through your pubic bone, up through your inner thighs. It's almost like your upper body and your lower body are moving in two seemingly, what's the word I'm looking for? They seem like they shouldn't be moving in these opposite directions, but they're going to do it. Okay, so chest up, pubic bone lifts. Try not to swing your butt back when you take this next movement, okay? But lift up. As you exhale, bow forward. Keep that curling into your lower belly and pubic bone. Now reach your right arm forward. Spiral your right shoulder inside of your right knee. Move that left hip back like triangle pose. And then stretch your left arm out, away from your left hip. Fingertips can come to the floor. 3. 2. Using that diagonal reach. 1. And walk your upper body back through center. Parallel your feet. Just take the easy entry from the other side. Turn your left heel in, toes out, bend your knee. Knee and toes face the same direction. Try to take your ribs away from your pelvis. And then climb all the way over to the left diagonally. Hips and fingertips move away from each other. Feet hug in. Pubic bone in. Heart soft and full. 2. and fold. Make it easy to begin with. And if you have a practice of Shirshasana, Shirshasana or the headstand, you can take that here, any variation that you feel steady in, because the focus will be on the hips. We're here just to get into the shoulders. I'm going to bring my hands behind my heels. Lower and press through the crown of my head. And feel my hips rise up. Reach down through my fingertips. Lift my heels up and take my legs out into a straddle. You can do this with your hands interlaced behind your head or in the tripod. But really reach out through the toes. Let your hips soften. 5 breaths. Shoulder blades into the back. Long neck lifted, tailbone. 2. Now flex your feet if they're up. Seek to bring your heels to the floor before your toes. And lengthen your spine, fingertips to the mat. Ground through your palms, lift up your heels, and hop onto your shins. And from here, release your hands to the mat. And take your left forearm behind your back. Try to bring it behind your middle back so when you reach around, you hold your upper right arm. Nice easy neck stretch here. Lift up through the sides of your throat. And then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. See if you can feel the breath just moving all the way through your left scalenes, your trapezius. And play around with the angle of your chin to find your sweet spot. You're going to keep your head tilted, release your left arm. Bring your right hand to your right ear, lift up. Other side. Right forearm reaches behind you, holding onto your upper left arm. Tilt your head to the left. Fluid, deep breaths into the right side of your throat, upper shoulder, back of your heart. 2. And 1. And slowly now release your right arm. Left hand to the side of your head. Use your hand to lift your head. Release your hands. Relax your shoulders and just feel the very center of your brain soften. Now for the next shape, Supta Virasana. Bring your knees together. And if you like, if you're feeling a little tight in your quads or your knees have been feeling a little angry recently, then you can place a block or a thick, firm pillow between your heels. Otherwise, bring your hands behind your knee creases. Press the flesh of your calves back and out, and then wiggle your hamstrings down inside your calves. Now, as your hips come to the floor, wrap the inner arches of your feet around the outer arches of your hips. And your knees can either stay together. For some of you, you may find that they want to travel out. Just try to keep them no wider than the actual center of your hip socket. Okay? Now here we are, front of the thigh being stretched, the hamstring reciprocally being relaxed. Bring your hands to the side of the mat. Walk back. Press down through your hands and uplift your chest. This may be enough. Just drawing your shoulder blades into your heart, sliding your quadriceps towards your kneecaps. Or it may be available for you to come down onto your forearms and cup the soles of your feet with the palms of your hands. And actually look at your hips. You may see that one is more elevated than the other. So try to get that one to be a little bit heavier. This often happens when we tend to sit with legs crossed or stand on one leg, just in life, right? Not really paying attention to balanced alignment. So just know that you're a human being and that may be your situation right now. And so seek to make the one that's elevated a little heavier. And then maybe there's space to recline back. Bring your arms like robot arms beside your body and slide your shoulder blades, like my hand here. Slide your shoulder blades into the back. Now, if your knees want to widen out, reach and hold the sides of your mat. Press it away from you. That'll lift your knees up. And then you can bring them together again and lower them down. Let's be here for 5 more breaths. Low ribs down and in. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Hold the sides of your mat. If you're reclining, ground through your elbows. Let your head trail. Elbows come back under your heart. And then press your palms into the floor. Lift your spine. Let your head float up at the last moment. Inhale. Exhale. And slowly and gently press down to your fingertips. Bring your heels together underneath your seat and slide your knees together. Vajrasana. And then coming forward to all fours, take a moment to stretch back leg by leg. Just extend your right leg and press through your heel. Not so much that it feels like you're like forcing into it, but just gently opening the back of your knee. And lower your right knee down and stretch your left leg back. Lower your left knee. Now into Parighasana. Keep your left shin where it is. You can come to fingertips to make space. And then extend your right leg out to the side. Lower the sole of your foot. I'm going to keep your left hip over your left knee. And then walk your hands back. All right. Press your right foot down into the floor. Lift up through the inner lines or inner seams of your legs. Take your left arm up. And start with this vertical line, left knee to left arm. Lift up and then lean over. Inhale. Exhale, curl your belly in, lean a bit more. Again, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more in. And out. 2 in. And out. 1 in. Out. Shut your left arm up. Rise. Keep your legs as they are. Bring your hands back down to the floor. Now breathe in, take your left arm out to the side, maybe up, and then reach under and across. See if you can bring your left fingertips towards your right foot, maybe even onto the top of your foot here. Right arm can rise. It's space across your collarbones. An option to wind that right arm behind your middle back, around for your left hip crease like you did in Parighasana. It's putting all the threads together, weaving this beautiful tapestry with your practice. 2 more. 1. Unwind that right arm, take it up. And then lower your right hand to the floor in front of your face. Release your right foot with your left hand and open up slowly. Take the left arm up and back again. Exhale, both hands come down. Breathe in, open up your chest. And then pivot your left foot in towards your right. Reach your right hand for your left heel. And start to wiggle, walk your right foot out to the side, out to the side a bit more. So your left heel will either land in front of your pubic bone, that's the more modified variation, or behind your left sitting bone. Turn your right toes up, lift your chest. Left heel behind your body like it was in Supta Virasana. Lean over to the right. This is a Shtanga Vinyasa version of Parighasana. Take your left arm up. Reach over. Maybe you find your foot, but really the priority here is length through that side body. So if you have to round in to find your foot, you may be missing an opportunity. 3. 2. 1. Reach your left arm up. Broaden through your chest as you rise. Inhale. Then bring your left hand behind your left hip. Ground through your left shin and right heel. Lift your hips and your heart. Lean back. It's a little like flash dance action, right? A little 80s here. 1 more. Now circle that right arm all the way around. Walk your hands forward again. Pivot your left shin back to the original starting position. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. And exhale, bring your right knee to the floor. Let your big toes come together, your knees wide, and sit back where we started the practice in child's pose. You might feel a difference between the sides of your body here. And as you're ready, come back to all fours. Bring your right knee directly under your right hip. Stretch your left leg back, externally rotate your thigh, and then take that left leg all the way out to the side before you place the sole of your foot down. If you're working with a little bit more active mobility, like maybe that's part of your goal here in your practice, you might take that action, pause the tape, and try to, with your left leg extended or knee bent, just hold, right, without dumping into your shoulders. But for the purposes of right now, walk your hands back, slide your chest up, reach your arms out wide. Again, full lift through your rib cage. Soften here through your heart, lean over to the left. And like you did in triangle pose, wrist to wrist, reach away from each other. Place your left hand down, take your right arm up, maybe over. A few more breaths here, lifting the inseam or the interior of your pelvis. 3, 2, 1. Rise and open. And bring your hands to the floor. Make sure that that line is set, right knee over or under rather the right hip. Then inhale, right arm up. Exhale, reach under and across, 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 across. Maybe you find your foot. And take your left arm straight up. Now the tendency is to create earrings with your shoulders. Instead, let your shoulder blades support the back of your heart. And then if you're going to bind, do so intelligently. Flip your left palm, reach up through your index finger, but take your left arm back away from your periphery. And then bend the elbow, slide it behind your back, reach around for your inner right thigh or hip crease. 2, 1. Left arm unwinds, reach up. Left hand down in front of your face. Inhale, right arm up and back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Now pivot your right heel in. To make this more accessible in your knee, you can bring it forward so that when you sit back, you're sitting behind your heel. Otherwise, preparation for Virasana is for this, so that you sit your heel just behind your pelvis. Now reach your left hand for your right heel. Walk your left foot out. Turn your toes up. Sit back and lift your chest. This should not be felt in your right knee. Now lift up through your right arm and lean over. Prioritize length through the side body. And then maybe you find your foot. 4, 3, 2, 1. Reach up through your right arm, release your right heel. Take a moment to feel it out. And place your right hand behind your right hip. Ground down through your left heel and pull it back as you lift your hips up. Lean back, little back bend. Circle that left arm all the way around the world, around the world, around the world. Both hands come down. Stretch your left leg back and up. Both knees to the floor. Big toes touch, knees come wide, sit back into child's pose. Or you can take one more round of the frog pose by widening your knees, bringing your feet behind your knees, and now allowing gravity to take just a little bit more of a hold here. Relax your glutes, even if it's just 5% more. 3, 2, 2, 1. Hands by your ribs. Pull yourself forward onto your belly. Bring your legs together. Stretch your legs back and stack your head onto your forehead, or your forehead onto your hands. And breathe into your lower back. Just feel it come alive. And feel your sacrum widen. Bring your hands back by your rib cage now. Rise up to all fours. And find one more little visit in downward facing dog. Getting a little traction there through your spine. Inhale, roll forward through plank to upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Now breathe and look way past your hands. Tone your lower belly, cross your ankles mid-air and hop through to seated. From here, I'm going to take your feet as wide as the short side of your mat, maybe even a little bit wider if you're longer legged. And just bring your feet or your fingertips to the floor behind you. Breathe in and rock your knees to the right. And just roll through that outer right hip. Breathe in, come back to center. Rock your knees to the left and roll through your outer left hip. And do that 3 more times. Back through the center. Now hold the back of your thighs. And as you inhale, pull your chest up. Exhale, keep your thighs in a bit, but round forward between your legs. And hold or hook your thumbs underneath the arches of your feet. Let's allow for some flexion here, rounding of your upper back. Good. Now, if your shoulders are touching your inner knees, then go to the next step. Draw your chest forward. Hook your left shoulder underneath your left knee. You can even hold onto that left shin with your right hand to give it a little bit more leverage. Lean and pull under. Lean down and pull under. You might find that little spiral we were working with before. And then hook the back of that left ankle with your left hand. Bring your right hand to your heart. And then like a heartbeat, boom, boom, breathe in your heart up into your hand. Open up your chest, take your right arm back. Flip your palm, take it back like you did in that revolved Parighasana. Bend your elbow, wind it behind your back, and then find that hip crease. Now stay here, lifting up through your right armpit. Or pivot your left forearm underneath your left leg. Reach around and hold your right fingertips or hold your right wrist with your left hand. So the top wrist is your right wrist. And then again, just give it a little bit of a pull. If you're open enough for this next stage, you might bring that right palm to the floor behind you, lean back. So just to give you a different perspective of what that looks like, some of us are more visual learners, holding onto the right wrist, lean back, palm to the floor. Sternum up high. Good. Now unwind your arms. Lean back down inside your legs and round. And then we'll move to the other side. Take your right shoulder, spiral it under and down under that knee crease. Left hand to your right shin, and give it some assistance as you wind that down underneath. And then bring your right hand behind your right ankle tendon, left hand to your heart, and pulse with your breath your chest up into your hand. Open it out. Spiral the whole thumb side of your arm back. And then keep that armpit open as you flip your forearm and wind it behind your upper back. Reach around for your hip. Now that right forearm may wind around the back of the right thigh. Hold fingertips or hold wrists and squeeze your right knee and shoulder together. Lean back, maybe fingertips or your palm come to the floor. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Unwind. And round forward. Release your head. As you can repeat that same cycle side to side. One more time. 3 to 5 breaths on each side. Or preparing for Kurmasana, right? If that felt really open to you, you're going to draw your chest forward like you just did, okay? But make sure that your heels start in line with your outer hips or even with your sitting bones. Pull your heart forward and then round between your legs. Wiggle shoulders underneath your knees and squeeze your knees into your shoulders. And then lean a bit to one side as you stretch your arms out. So wiggle your hips side to side as you stretch your arms out. Ground through your palms. Your upper back continues to round. Now lift your toes, slide your heels straight forward. Trying to get as much internal rotation through your thighs as you can. Press your shoulders wide, your collarbones wide into your knees. 6 more breaths. If your forehead touches the mat, then start to lengthen through your spine. Otherwise, allow that rounding in your upper back. 3. Breathing into your sacrum. 2. 1. Now pull your heels back. When you're halfway up, unslide your shoulders. Unglide your shoulders from under your knees. Cross your legs. Sitting comfortably, just notice how you feel. Just a few more breaths. Kurmasana is one of 11 major postures, really the only postures in the Hatha Yoga Pradipika. It's also in the Granda Samhita. It's one of the oldest Hatha Yoga asana, as far as we know, right? And you might notice that within your own body, there's this sense of release, of drawing in, right? opening in your lower back and your sacrum. And the nervous system's a little soothed or calmed. When you're ready, find your way onto your back, please. And take your feet wide as the mat so that your knees can drop together. Tuck your tailbone under and then release your lower back. Bring your hands wherever you feel like you need a little contact. Just checking in with the sensation without trying to change it, at least in the beginning. Just noticing the effect of your practice thus far with a level of curiosity rather than judgment. And as you go through this process of inquiring, right, noticing how you feel, start to pull from your own toolbox. 1, maybe 2 final poses that will help you get into a state of release. That may be poses that enhance where you are right now. It may be poses that balance where you are right now. Okay? And if you don't know, right, if you're newer to that home practice aspect, just keep it simple. Start by bringing your legs together, extending your right leg out, and then move your hips over to the left, bend your left knee up into your body and take it over to the right. 5 breaths in an easy twist. Not overthinking it. And then come back through center. Center your hips. Give that left knee a squeeze. And extend the left leg out by the right. And bring your right knee into your chest. Shift your hips to the right. And let your right knee fall to the left. Again, just nice and simple, allowing the breath to breathe your body. Watching it rather than trying to control it. And then back through center. And give that knee a squeeze. Extend both legs out, stretch your arms overhead. And breathe into every cell of your body, from your heart to your skin. Take the next few breaths to find your way into Shavasana. Shavasana is the final resting pose. Feet as wide as your outer hips, Arms at a 45-degree angle by the side, maybe as much as 60 degrees. Just feeling this equal weight, right to left, right arm to left arm, right leg to left leg, right shoulder, left shoulder, back of your head, sacrum, heels, all release down. And being very gentle in your approach, just begin to watch your breath, not changing it, just watching it. Becoming curious about the space between the inhale and the exhale, that little pause. And allowing that pause between the sides of the breath to draw you into a stiller place, softer place. Until eventually only the pause holds your attention. The breath fades into the distance. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Taking a moment, allow your breath to deepen, expand through your body. See if you can feel your breath moving all the way out to the silhouette, the edges of your skin. And start to explore little movements. Fingers, toes, maybe widening your jaw. And then eventually stretch your arms up and overhead. Hug your knees into your chest and rock your way up to sit. As you arrive, bring your hands to your own heart in prayer. Anjali Mudra. Setting the stage for a great day filled with gratitude, discernment, and skill in our actions. The results of taking that pause rather than jumping into the reaction. Namaste.